Hey everybody, GGinspire here with a message today about growing your money. So I used to be in the medical field and I changed fields about 14 years ago. Actually, I got into the field, learned about medicine, learned about all the stress that is involved, and kind of decided to take a step back. But I wanted to get into business. And so I started in business about 14 years ago, but I left medicine about 10, 11 years ago. And so what happened was I wanted to learn about the money. I wanted to learn about the education. I realized I didn't have very much education, but I did learn a couple things about growing generational wealth because most of us are not an Oprah or a Bill Gates or some of the billionaires, right? Elon Musk. Most of us don't become billionaires in our lifetime. Okay. So the greatest way to be able to build wealth is usually generational wealth. Most of the people that you know that are wealthy now have come from family money. Now, in some ways, may have been passed on, but if your great grandparents did a little bit more, they saved a little bit more, they planned a little bit better, and gave you the opportunity for your grandparents, your parents, what have you, and the kids that come behind you, gave you an opportunity to make some better choices, some better financial choices, and hopefully they educated themselves and allowed that to be able to happen. So are you going to be able to do that for your children, for your grandchildren, for your great grandchildren? It starts with you now. So if that's not your situation, if you weren't wealthy because your great grandparents did something great, or your parents or your grandparents did something great, you have the ability to be able to do that now, right? So you have to educate yourself. I saw the writing on the wall. I knew, number one, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want anybody's thumb on me, but I also knew that I had to get myself educated about money in order to be able to make better choices for ourselves. We had a ton of debt. That was a huge mistake, even though I was told, don't spend too much on your credit cards and pay them off every single month so you don't have interest. I didn't even understand what interest really meant, how it could affect me, and how it could work in my favor. So a couple things. You want to make sure that you're saving money. Now, if you're like, I don't make very much money, how am I going to save? Sometimes it's about lowering your expenses in the beginning. Sometimes we're wasting money on things that we don't need. We're all guilty of that at some point. Maybe it's making more money. Maybe you need a side hustle. Maybe you need to be looking at business to be able to make some more income along the way so that you can start to save more. Save more money. Make sure that you have more of a surplus at the end of the month than you have a deficit. So you can put some money away. There's always money now, but you always pay yourself first. Pay yourself first because it's always going to be there. If you don't pay yourself first, it might be just whatever is left over. Right? So definitely pay yourself first. That's number one, and save money. Here's the other thing. Number two, grow it. How are you growing it? Are you setting it aside in the bank? Is it in your mattress? Because it's making nothing. It's actually losing money to inflation. But in the bank, it's making almost nothing. 0.01, 0.03, 0.5 if you have a lot of money saved in a CD. So most of us didn't even realize that is working against us, because if inflation is between 3 and 5%, you're losing money, which means your dollar is going to be able to buy you less. Now, if any of you have been looking, you know the prices are higher right now. So that dollar that's sitting in your mattress, or that dollar that's sitting in the bank, it's buying you less right now just because of inflation. So grow your money. Get the best possible rate of return that you can. Talk to a professional. I'm a professional. You can talk to me. But here's the thing. You need to be looking at getting a better rate of return on your money, understanding what that means and how to make your money compound. Not going to talk about this today, but the rule of 72, compound interest, is really, really important for how you grow your money and how fast it doubles. And then number three, when you're growing your money, you need to make sure that you're limiting what you're going to have to pay in taxes. Okay. If you do these things right, you're going to grow an estate, and you're going to want to make sure that that estate goes to who you want it to go to. And it doesn't go to Uncle Sam, right? Your favorite uncle who will take as much as he possibly can, right? We have to make sure that we're doing smart things with it, putting it in tax advantage vehicles, putting it in a trust, making sure that you're in a place where the money that grows, that you're able to create, that estate, those assets you're able to create, go to who you want it to go to. So make sure that you're making smarter choices with your money. Save it, put it away, grow it, do the best possible rate of return that you possibly can with that growth. And then also making sure that you're limiting what your long-term taxes are going to be. I would venture to say, with all the money that's been going out into circulation, we're going to have to experience an increase in taxes. So shield and protect your money from the long-term taxes, and that'll make a big difference for you. Here's the thing. Generational wealth, it doesn't come overnight. Definitely not by generation, but it also comes by educating yourself and taking action. So you can get lots of education, you can hear lots of stuff and lots of tips, but until you actually take action to make it happen, nothing's going to move forward. So be inspired, everybody. Go out there, be inspired to make sure that you have a better life. Got to learn the money game in order to be able to do that. Be inspired, everybody. Take care.